Joining us now here on the set atop the main street of downtown Columbia are Jim Ragan, owner of St. James Lighting, and Patrick Ragan. Patrick, tell me your exact role there at the company.
Operations. I handle the day-to-day of the factory.
I got you. So you're the operations manager. So,
yes, sir.
All right, Jim, tell us about the business. You guys actually manufacture custom lighting, right?
We manufacture. We specialize in copper light fixtures. Started the business in 2008.
Okay.
I lived in Jackson at the time. Commuted down here for 3 or 4 years. We started the business in Columbia. My wife is from Columbia, and her parents owned an empty building back then, and so it was just a good move for us to start the business down here.
I believe I saw it on the way in.
Yeah, well, that's our new building.
Okay.
Our original building is right around the corner.
Okay.
Here in Honey Alley, and we've actually purchased that building about a year ago, and we have our steel shop operation in there now.
Okay.
We're in 2 facilities. We've got about 60 employees today, and we manufacture, like I said, copper gas lights. That's what we started as. Electric lighting is now the bigger part of our business. We ship all over North America, do a lot of business in Canada, the Caribbean. So it's been an interesting ride.
Do you sell through lighting retailers primarily?
Yeah, Sunbelt Lighting you're familiar with,
yeah.
I'm sure. They were our first customer. They now have 10, 11 showrooms in multiple states. Typically that's who we go to market with, but in the last couple of years we've started to transition somewhat to more of a designer architect customer base.
Yeah. Well, how's business been? I got to believe with the housing activity, it's got to be incredible.
It's booming.
Are you able to keep up with the demand?
I can't believe I'm going to say this out loud, but I wish it was.
No, you don't. Because when it's slow, man, I wish it was booming.
Yeah, business is really good.
Good. That is awesome.
Yeah.
You said you employ 60?
We have 60 employees today.
I got you. All right, so Patrick, as the operations manager, what all does that entail at the company?
It really just depends day to day. Anything from custom design work. We do a lot of custom fixtures. We design, engineer, figure out what they're looking for, do that kind of stuff, to just seeing how the process and the flow in the shop's going, what we can improve on, what we need to change. Right now we're actually in the process of upgrading our facilities, adding some more space, adding some more. We've hired several new employees over the past several months just to try to keep up with the demand we're at right now. So It's just a juggling act day to day to see where we're at and where we need to be and how we can get there.
Is it fair to say you're back to kind of full production operations? Did you reduce any of your capacity during COVID?
Fortunate. Never had that issue.
Awesome.
We've only increased our production capabilities through this whole time.
Well, that is awesome. And
we've been very fortunate.
Are you able to get the staff you need, or are you looking for people like everybody is?
We're always looking for good people.
Sure.
Always looking for good people. So we get people in all the time. We keep resumes, and as soon as we have something that we need, we'll go through what we can find and give some people some calls and try to get some talent in there. So.
Jim, are you attracting people from outside of the Columbia area when you're hiring and recruiting, or most of them live in the area?
Most of them live in Marion County. We have some in Lamar, some in Jeff Davis. We have some in Rankin County.
Yeah.
But we're not limiting ourselves to just local people, but the majority of our employees are local.
I got you. And you've got a pretty good bit of loyalty, I got to believe, to make a business that's successful for that period of time.
We do, and I'm very conscious about employee morale. It's important to me. For example, this weekend we've rented the ice skating rink Saturday for all of our employees to come down and enjoy the afternoon.
Sure.
So, those kinds of things, don't pay the bills, but for our employees, but it's something that we do. We do that kind of stuff throughout the year to try to, encourage some loyalty. We've got a really good group of people that work for us. Like any, organization, I walk in the morning and I ask, who's not here today? That's the first thing I ask every morning. 60 people, somebody's going to be out.
Sure.
Either we have one on jury duty today, that kind of thing. But we have a good benefits package. We pay a good salary. We pay 100% of our employees health insurance.
Wow, very generous.
Yeah, we have paid holidays, and so all those things go hand in hand to encourage loyalty, I think.
Patrick, I'm intrigued with the custom built products. I assume a lot of that would be on the copper side, or you got some electrical lights as well?
We do our copper lights, and we also do steel fixtures, and then a combination of both, with copper being malleable. You need a lot of, depending on the size of the fixture, you need structure to keep it up and not falling off. So there's a mixture of stuff, but I always tell people to ask, can you do custom? And I said, unfortunately, because it's great for our business, but sometimes it's hard to figure it all out. Yeah. But a custom little sconce that might be 12 inches will do, or I've done some chandeliers in the 16-foot diameter for hotel entrances and things like that. So some of those jobs are fun and exciting to figure out how and what. But it's been a struggle in the beginning to figure out what and how the capabilities of. But we've got it down pretty well to a science now. We can kind of cursory glance at something and see how it's going to work out.
So do you have the staff that have those capabilities, the custom design abilities and the tools to do that?
Typically the way the process works is one of our designers usually, or the design people will send me a picture of something that they saw or their customer saw, and they want to, I love this, but I don't like this about it, and it needs to be this big or something, and they can't get it from anywhere else. So we'll come up with something, and we have 3 full-time AutoCAD people. We get it all drawn up. We might have to change it for the way we can build it with our capabilities versus how it's shown, or change it for structurability, depending upon where it's going to go. And we'll come up with something and send them, these are your options, back, and get some price worked out, and then we can go from the construction process from there.
So that's pretty cool. So really, the A to Z process you can handle. And I think you're right. I know in building my house 13 years ago, it always started with, well, we saw this in the magazine. We kind of want it to look like that. That's where you get a lot of those ideas. But I like to make these adjustments. So that's pretty neat. So how do you promote? How do you advertise? Jim, how do you get the word out that you're in this business and you can do this?
Well, I've been fortunate to travel all over North America. I've been to every showroom we do business with in the United States and Canada. Okay. So once we get a presence with them, it doesn't take a lot of follow-up as far as being in their showrooms. The other thing that we've done, we were in the Dallas lighting market for several years. It's a massive market, about 5 million square feet of display lights.
Wow.
And we had 500 square feet, so we're just a little. But a couple of years ago, we actually transitioned over to High Point Market, which is much more of a designer architect market. It's the big furniture market.
High Point, North Carolina,
yes,
right?
Yes, sir. And we've got a permanent display in there, and that's really helped our business grow. That, and then just doing this, something like this. It's amazing how. We were featured on Hometown TV.
Going to ask you about that.
Yeah,
how cool is that?
That was the very first episode they ever did was us. We were featured on there.
I'll be darned.
And we didn't get a lot of phone rings, but they were a new show.
Yeah.
And then they featured us again in year 5. And it was unbelievable how the phone blew up.
My wife watches it religiously.
Absolutely.
So.
As a matter of fact, we're making a couple more lights for them right now. For Ben and Aaron bought a country house, and we're going to put some lights on their own personal home.
How cool is that? Yeah. All out of Mississippi. That's what's really neat about it.
I had a lady call me from Indiana. She said, I saw the show. I want to come to your factory. I want to pick out my lights, and I want you to make them for me.
That is so neat.
So come on down.
I talk about it a lot on the show, but there's this, I'll just call it a misconception about the state of Mississippi. And it is, in fact, a misconception because we just have so many great businesses, great entrepreneurs like you guys, great service providers, and we are blessed indeed, and we're not what, unfortunately, a lot of people on the outside think. This is a really great place, and it's a great town. And congratulations on all your success, Jim and Patrick, and thanks so much for joining Middays today.
It's been an honor to have us. Appreciate it a lot.
It's been fantastic. All right, we will take a break right here. We got a couple of more segments.